The scene shifts to the Jai family mansion inside the main room. Ji Woo-ji says, "Everyone, if anyone can cure my old man's strange illness, this money is theirs." Behind him, there's a huge pile of bright pink cash. Han Cheng-sin nervously says Mr. G's body stats are all normal. There shouldn't be anything wrong, right? The other doctors fall silent, and he continues, "I really don't understand." At that moment, the door opens, and En Wu Dao and So King Yang walk in. En Wu Dao says, "I want to give it a try." Standing before everyone are Su King Ye's serious expression and En Wu Dao's silly grin. Han Cheng-sin says, "If En Wu Dao, the legendary doctor, is here, it should be a piece of cake." In his mind, Ji Woo-ji thinks, what's En Wu Dao doing here? Every time something happens, it's always out of control. En Wu Dao steps closer to Ji Woo-ji and asks, "Young Master Ji, what exactly is wrong with Mr. Ji? Why haven't I heard anything about it?" Ji Woo-ji replies, looking worried. A while ago, he suddenly started having terrible headaches, the kind that felt like he was dying and coming back to life. But right after that, En Wu Dao teased, there's a saying, a headache means you're possessed by a ghost, a stomachache means you're blocked up and need to pass it out. Why not go find a shaman to dance and exorcise the demons instead? This left So King Ye speechless, unsure of what to say, while Ji Woo-ji just stared at her with a blank expression. Inside the room, there was a loud scream. "Ah, it hurts so much, my head feels like it's going to crack open." So King Ye said, "This is bad, the patient is having a seizure." When the door to the room opened, everyone was stunned. Ji Woo-ji shouted, "Stop!" But what appeared before them was the sight of Yang Fan sitting and performing acupuncture right in the middle of Mr. G's forehead. With a serious expression, Yang Fan explained, "The patient has a strange wind in his brain. We need to use a silver needle to draw it out, or he will definitely die." In front of them, Mr. G looked pale and was gasping for breath. Han Cheng-sin spoke up, "Young Master G, don't believe his nonsense. Yesterday at the Central Hospital, he caused a major incident. He turned a living person into a corpse. I was there, right at the scene." This made Ji Woo-ji's face change instantly as he shouted, "What?" Then he shouted, "You're a terrible doctor, yet you dare come to the Jai family's house to show off. Get him out of here right now." This surprised Yang Fan. He fell silent for a moment, unsure of what to say. After that, he stood up confidently and said, "You don't need to bother with me. I'll leave on my own. But you better not remove the 3 silver needles from your father's forehead. If you do, be prepared to face the consequences." He walked up to En Wu Dao and So King Ya. Yang Fan warned, "Xing Ye, whether you believe me or not, I have to say this. En Wu Dao is not a good person. It's best if you stay away from him to avoid getting caught up in his mess." So King Ye calmly responded, "I don't need you to worry about that." But he refused to back down, laughing loudly, throwing his head back and laughing at the sky. "Am I really going to let myself be just an ordinary person hiding in the En family? Just wait. There will come a time when you'll be begging me for help. This kind of illness, I'm the only one who can cure it." Han Cheng-sin stood before Mr. G, looking down on him. Yang Fan pretended to sneer. What is this supposed to be? And as soon as Han Cheng-sin pulled the 3 needles out of Mr. G's head, something unexpected happened. Mr. G kept screaming, his forehead covered in veins. "Ah, it hurts so much my head feels like it's going to explode." This made Han Cheng-sin so scared he almost wet his pants, crying his eyes out. So King Ye quickly grabbed a syringe and said, "Hurry. Someone hold him down, I need to inject a sedative immediately." But Mr. G refused to let go of his head. He swatted the syringe away from So King Ye and pushed her aside. And Mu Dao quickly stepped in, catching her and saying, "I've got this." Without hesitation, En Wu Dao used his 9 dragons' true chi. He placed his hand on Mr. G's head and said, "Stay calm. If not, I'll break your neck." Immediately after, Mr. G fell silent and drifted off to sleep. Wu Dao thought to himself, "Hey, Yang Fan's method may be rough, but it's effective. It seems like many famous healing texts mention using this trick. He used the silver needles to temporarily block the pressure points, which calms the patient for a short while. If someone pulls the needles out, the patient immediately goes into a fit. When that happens, the family has no choice but to beg for help. No wonder he was so confident someone would beg him for help." On the other side, Ji Woo-ji spoke anxiously, saying, "What should we do now? It seems like only he can save my father. Should we invite Yang Fan here?" But En Wu Dao intervened, saying, "Wait, something about this is a bit strange." En Wu Dao started questioning, "When did Yang Fan arrive in Jiangcheng?" So King Ye replied, "It's been about 7 or 8 days." En Wu Dao then asked Ji Woo-ji, "How long has your father been sick?" Ji Woo-ji thought for a moment before answering, "Around 5 or 6 days." Suddenly, he seemed to realize something and said, "Could it be?" En Wu Dao, with a brilliant aura behind him, replied, "That's right, exactly what you're thinking." So King Ye and Ji Wuji both said in unison, "That's what we thought." And Wu Dao explained, "This is called the soul-chasing death needle, and it comes with 99 types of herbs. In the past, this was a method used by traveling doctors to make money. First, they would use the needle to prick someone, waiting until the pain became unbearable, and then they would use the soul-chasing death needle to heal them. In this way, the victim would not only be willing to pay a large amount of money, but would also be so moved that they'd be in tears." And Wu Dao then asked seriously, "By the way, have you ever heard of the soul-chasing death needle?" So King Ye and Ji Wuji both replied, "No, we've never heard of it, and we don't know where it comes from." An Wu Dao smiled to himself, thinking it's surprising to hear this because it's all just made up. He said, "Now you see the importance of anti-fraud apps, right? Everyone, be sure to download it." After a brief ad, Ji Wuji anxiously asked, "Wu Dao, you said so much, but is there any way to save my dad? I can't just let that needle stay stuck in his forehead like this." And Wu Dao sighed and replied, "I'm not a doctor, so of course I can't treat him, but there are people who can." This made Ji Wuji curious, and he asked, "Who?" And Wu Dao's face lit up as he said, "The director of the central hospital, So King Ya." This surprised So King Ya. She put her hands in her pockets and said, "I can't." But then, and Wu Dao whispered in her ear, "King Ya, this is a great opportunity for you to make a name for yourself. Just go ahead and treat him and I'll help you." So King Ye seemed to think it over, then nodded in agreement. As the two of them got to work, So King Ye said, "First, use ibuprofen to ease the pain, and then I'll come up with a treatment plan." And Wu Dao slipped his hands into his pockets and said, "Sounds good." Then he extended his hand and added, "Leave the rest to me." A golden light of power appeared in the palm of An Wu Dao's hand. He thought to himself, Yang Fan said the patient's condition was caused by strange winds entering his brain, so it must be right. He firmly believed that trusting in heaven's chosen was the strongest path to victory. Here's the translation. All you need to do is use 9 dragons' true chi to remove Thexi, Qi, evil energy, and this illness will definitely be cured. And Wu Dao directed a beam of power straight to Mr. G's head, and immediately, a stream of smoke rushed out of Mr. G's mouth. And Wu Dao was so shocked he thought, is it really this simple? Like a joke? And Wu Dao said, but I'm also really curious about what caused Mr. G's illness. Sukai appeared just in time to explain the cause of the illness has been identified. It's because of recent disturbances in space and time around here. She opened a small black space tinged with gray and continued. The imbalance in the magnetic field led to a disruption between righteous and evil energies. The patient was accidentally invaded by the evil energy. And Wu Dao asked worriedly, disturbances in space and time, a messed up magnetic field. What does that mean? Sugai answered seriously, put it simply, someone has recently been reincarnated. This left An Wu Dao stunned and fearful. Reincarnated? But right after that, a sly look appeared on his face. And Wu Dao said, isn't that the typical plot for the main character? Looks like we're about to get another Heaven's Chosen story. And Wu Dao said, Qing Ye, you can pull out now. And then Su King Ye also pulled out the silver needles. As soon as Mr. G was helped up, he had another episode. His eyes bulged, his forehead was even more covered in veins, and he screamed, "Ah, my head feels like it's going to split open." Ji Wuji panicked and quickly said, "This is bad. He's having another episode." Mr. G kept clutching his head, groaning in pain, which made everyone around them worry. But then he suddenly laughed and said, It's okay now. I'm feeling much better, the pain is gone. Yelling like that is just a bad habit of mine." This caused everyone to be so frustrated, they almost lost it. And Wu Dao, King Ya, and Ji Wuji went outside to talk. And Wu Dao said, Young Master Ji, Yang Fan has been plotting against the Jai family, making your father suffer terribly. A doctor with no ethics like that, are you really going to let him stick around for the new year? As they walked, Ji Wuji responded, Yang Fan dares to show off like this in front of the Jai family. If we don't teach him a lesson, won't people laugh at us for being weak? How will the Jiang family ever hold their ground in Jiangcheng if we let this go? Then he shouted decisively, Where are they? Hearing the command, the guards quickly broke both of Yang Fan's arms and legs and threw him out of Jiangcheng. The bodyguards around them shouted in unison, Yes, and then left. So King Ye exclaimed, Oh wow! Seeing this, An Wu Dao asked, a bit jealous, what's going on? Can't handle it? So King Ye hurriedly explained, no, it's just that I didn't expect senior brother, who is so dedicated to traditional Chinese medicine, to turn into someone so obsessed with money. It's really embarrassing. Wu Dao coldly replied, everyone is driven by profit. People get messy and chaotic all for the sake of money. It's sad that for a small amount, some will disregard ethics and trample on morality. Ji Wuji, standing nearby, spoke up firmly. A fraud like that, with no medical ethics, I won't let him get away with it. I'll expose his crimes to the entire country and let the traditional medicine community kick him out. With a vicious look on his face, Ji Wuji gritted his teeth and said, I'll make sure he is utterly ruined. Switching to the street, the Jia family's subordinates ran toward Yang Fan, shouting, Stop! Don't leave! Yang Fan, walking ahead with a smug look, thought to himself, I'm deliberately walking slowly, waiting for you to beg me. You've come to beg me to treat you. I'm really curious to see how you'll kneel and beg me. But immediately he was struck in the face. A bodyguard swung an iron rod, landing a punch that made him squint in pain, blood spilling from his mouth. The beatings came relentlessly, one after another, as Yang Fan curled up, holding his head to take the blows. One of the subordinates said, Young master's orders are clear. We're to break your arms and legs. Just as the iron rod was about to strike Yang Fan's tightly held hand, another rod shot toward the subordinate's face. A woman in a short dress appeared right in front of Yang Fan, and the bodyguard who had been struck flew backward. The woman with blonde hair said, Let's see who dares to lay a hand on Hong Yip's benefactor. She held a sharp sword, and behind her stood many subordinates dressed in dragon pattern attire. Someone shouted, It's the Azure Dragon Group. Yip Su led her own group forward and said, Hong Yip, your reputation is impressive. You dare stand against the Jai family? Hong Yip replied, I thought it was someone important, but it's just Yip Su, the Jai family's adopted daughter. So when did the Jai family let you call the shots? Ji Wuji stood right beside her, placing a hand on Yip Su's shoulder and said, She can call the shots. Then Hong Yip clasped her hands and asked, Could you two show some mercy and let Yang Fan go? But Yang Fan, deliberately enraged, shouted, Hong Yip, don't beg them. I try to help them with their illness. If they don't appreciate it, fine. But now they repay kindness with hatred. But immediately Ji Wuji raised his staff toward Yang Fan and shouted, You're a coward with no moral sense. Now that you're lucky to be alive, you still don't know how to repent. You really want to die, huh? Without hesitation, Hong Yip drew her sword. In just a few moves, she quickly chopped through Ji Wuji's iron staff. She pressed the blade to Ji Wuji's throat and said, You want to die. Ji Wuji thought to himself, I originally thought that after being reborn, I could help the Jia family avoid this disaster, but it turns out we still couldn't escape it. In my past life, Yip Su's background led Hong Yip to destroy the Jai family. This time, I tried to hide Yip Su's identity, but whatever's meant to happen happens. At that moment, Hong Yip felt a sharp pain in her sword hand. She panicked and thought, plucking leaves, launching flowers, internal force projected outward. This is the sign of someone from the pre-heaven realm. Who could it be? While Hong Yip's face darkened with worry, En Wu Dao appeared, still holding a fresh leaf in his hand. He said casually, Well, that's pretty good. On the side, Su Qingye remained silent, not saying a word. Hong Yip drew her sword again and asked, Who are you? How dare you interfere with the Azure Dragon Group? En Wu Dao boldly replied, I'm Wu Dao. But Hong Yip, unfazed, responded, I don't know you. I've never had a drink with you. This made En Wu Dao feel embarrassed, and he awkwardly coughed. Aim. Yang Fan shouted, It's because of him that I failed so miserably. That old woman from last time was definitely faking her death. With my medical skills, there's no way I could have actually cured someone who was dead. If I had been a bit more patient, the En family's scheme wouldn't have worked. En Wu Dao calmly responded, So what? Everyone knows you turned someone from alive to dead. You'll always be seen in a bad light for that. No matter how much you scream now, it won't change the truth. To me, you're just a powerless, angry fool. This made Yang Fan furious. He yelled, You're really looking down on me. Yang Fan threw a few silver needles in retaliation, saying, Try feeling the power of my heaven's proud son. Sensei Oxio was live streaming this moment, and the screen filled with comments. Here we go. A logistics minister is getting his turn. Time for the main character to shine. The little dragon and phoenix are showing off like the wind, always there for you. Immediately, En Wu Dao drew his short green dragon blade, easily blocking each of Yang Fan's attacks, which made Yang Fan's face turn pale as he nervously thought, How would he break my needle technique so easily? Who exactly is this guy? If he can do that, then let's see him take down the second strongest hidden weapon on the rankings, just below Confucius' spirit. Then he pulled out a tool covered in holes and shouted, Storm of Pure Blossom Needles. Yang Fan proudly said, The Storm of Pure Blossom Needles fires 27 needles at once. It gets its name because when they're launched, they look like pure blossoms. Let's see how you're going to block this one. Immediately, En Wu Dao slapped Yang Fan across the face, completely shutting him down. He asked, You really think I can't avoid it? Each streak of light from the Dao Island appeared thick and intense, making Yang Fan gasp in surprise. What? It disappeared. Hong Yip, watching the fight, couldn't help but worry. It vanished without a trace, almost like some kind of magic trick. Then the Dao Island appeared at Yang Fan's throat, and En Wu Dao materialized right behind him, asking, "Were you looking for me?" Yang Fan, terrified, asked, "How? How did you get so close?" A message appeared on the tool. Successfully switched primary teleportation to a 100-meter square range, costing 1 million fame points. Remaining fame points, 2.8 million. En Wu Dao, observing the screen, was shocked. Wait, didn't I only have 2.7 million left last time? Why does it keep going up the more I use it? But immediately, the reason was laid bare. Seducing kept live streaming, which only boosted her popularity even more. Seducing even commented, "I really don't know how to explain this to everyone. Did the boss just teleport, or is he running faster than usual?" In the comments, Jiang Ji Man wrote, "The boss just wants us to believe in science. He turned around and completed the teleportation in a second. Not even the storm of pure blossom needles could be avoided, and the main character was getting stronger by the moment. The protagonist is a full-level human, which is bad news. That woman is trying to sneak attack our boss." Hong Yip rushed over at lightning speed to help. She swung a sword to block En Wu Dao, forcing him to retreat. Hong Yip shouted, "If you want to touch him, you'll have to step over my dead body first." And Wu Dao thought to himself that the system still hadn't marked the mission as complete, which meant Yang Fan hadn't truly fallen yet, so now wasn't the time to kill him. Outwardly, En Wu Dao smiled and said, "Careful with that sword, little sister." But Hong Yip didn't stop. She rushed straight toward En Wu Dao to fight him. She said, "An inch longer, an inch stronger." And Wu Dao instantly teleported right in front of her, grinning slyly. "An inch shorter, an inch more dangerous. Little sister, I'm happy to wrestle with you for 3 rounds, but don't cry when you can't take it." This made Hong Yip's face turn bright red, but she quickly snapped back, fuming. "You pervert. Getting close to me won't be that easy." And she struck again toward En Wu Dao, causing him to exclaim, changing the angle from behind. Good technique. But the more they fought, the stronger it became, and Wu Dao began to take action. A throwing dagger appeared in his hand. He said, "Then take this attack of mine." 36 petals of the Blood Lotus throwing dagger. Far off in the distance, Hong Yip was struggling to hold her ground. She shouted, as expected from a master of innate skills. She managed to block one of the throwing daggers and added, "But still, there's something missing. Just a little more firepower would be enough." But immediately from beside her, a short dragon-shaped dagger pressed against Hong Yip's neck. And Wu Dao spoke. "Who's missing the firepower, I wonder?" And Wu Dao stood right behind Hong Yip, smiling as he said, "I used the same technique to subdue Yang Fan earlier. Why did you learn from that?" Instantly, Hong Yip let go of her sword, and above her head, the emotions shifted to 60% affection, 60% reverence, and a hint of fear. She sighed in defeat. "I give up. Go ahead, do whatever you want." But En Wu Dao noticed and thought, "Oh, there's affection. If that's the case, I might as well follow through with it." Then En Wu Dao kissed Hong Yip on the lips. After pulling away from her soft lips, he grinned mischievously. This caused Hong Yip to panic, her face turning bright red as she screamed, "Are you crazy? The one who can be killed cannot be humiliated. Why did you kiss me?" En Wu Dao smirked and said, "You said you can do whatever you want, right?" Hong Yip blushed and ran over to chase En Wu Dao, shouting, "Damn it, you liar. The one who can be killed cannot be humiliated. Why did you kiss me?" Up ahead, En Wu Dao just kept laughing and dodging. Then he said, "You smell so good and you're so sweet. From now on, every time I see you, I'll give you a kiss." So King Ye sighed in resignation, thinking he's at it again. From what I know, she won't be able to escape. Am I really going to get another sister? Hong Yip, looking like she wanted to make him pay, said, "You! I'm not letting you kiss me. Why are you doing this to me? Damn it, damn it." Above their heads, the favorability level remained at 70, with feelings of attraction, fear, and caution. Seeing all this unfold, Yang Fan was speechless, not knowing what to say. The blonde man patted his shoulder and said, "Come on, Yang, stay strong." Yang Fan, with a forgiveness label on his head, sighed helplessly and said, "What can I do? Of course, I'll choose to forgive her." Hong Yip said, "I might not usually care about these things, but Yang Fan saved my life. Today, I have to take it with me." She spoke firmly, "If not, we'll all go down together." And Wu Dao saw Ji Wuji and Yixu standing behind him. He smiled kindly and gestured for them to follow. As Hong Yip led Yang Fan away, he thought to himself, "I can't believe I'm a great doctor, yet I have to rely on a woman to survive. This is a disgrace." But suddenly he noticed something. A cord quickly wrapped around Yixu's wrist, surprising her. He said the autumn wind stirs the heart. Is this what you've been searching for, Miss Hong? The subtle essence of the body. Yang Fan used his mystical technique to catch her, and both Yi Su and Ji Wuji's expressions changed. Were they finally exposed? Could they really not change their fate? After Yang Fan retracted the mystical cord, he said, Miss Hong, she's the one you were looking for. Hong Yip gritted her teeth in anger and said, I can't believe the killer was her, standing right in front of me. She drew her sword, and I almost missed it. Without hesitation, Hong Yip swung her sword at Yi Su and shouted, Heavenly Death Star, in your next life, don't reincarnate into the Yi family. Ji Wuji saw this and screamed, Stop! Yi Su lowered her head and said, The disaster, ah. She screamed, En Wu Dao, come and do something about it. Immediately, En Wu Dao appeared, wielding a short green dragon dagger to counter Hong Yip's swordsmanship. As he blocked each strike, he complimented Miss Yi. You predicted this in advance. I really admire you. Looking back to the past on the day of the Jade Auction, Yi Su had taken the initiative to offer help with dealing with Qin Tian on the condition that I would save the Jai family once. At that time, there were no signs of anything unusual. She had already predicted that the Jai family would face disaster in the future. This was clearly counterintuitive, and Wu Dao thought, unless she's either Ji Wuji or someone who broke the space-time continuum to be reborn. Across from them, Hong Yip shouted, What does killing her have to do with you? Did she give you something yesterday or what? And Wu Dao blocked the strike while smiling and said, Oh, not a bad suggestion. I'll consider it. On the other side, the two men, both wearing blue hats, were comforting each other. Ji Wuji said, Make sure the hat is on properly. Don't let it fall off. Yang Fan adjusted Ji Wuji's blue hat and said, Your hat's crooked. Let me fix it for you. On the scene, Hong Yip and En Wu Dao were still evenly matched. Hong Yip said, Today I have to kill her. Whether you agree or not, it's happening. But En Wu Dao replied, Letting Yang Fan go was already a step back for me. If you keep causing trouble, you'll be slapping me in the face. En Wu Dao said seriously, But my face, the face of En Wu Dao, is something you're not even worthy of touching. Immediately, the power of the green dragon dagger grew stronger, knocking Hong Yip aside. She stood in front of her subordinates and shouted, Azure Dragon Group, heed my command. Behind her, the subordinates shouted in unison, Yes. Hong Yip screams, Stop killing for me. Ji Wuji, worried, said, The Azure Dragon Group is made up of seasoned warriors extremely fierce. We can't stop them. So King Ya, panicked, said, Don't tell me you're planning to have Wu Dao fight 100 people alone. Do you want to get him killed? Yi Su, coldly from behind, said, En Wu Dao, I asked you to save the Jai family, not me. You can withdraw now. If someone has to die today, let it be me, Yi Su. En Wu Dao unleashed the 9 dragons' true chi along with a blood lotus flying peach and said, I haven't tried yet. How do I know I can't win? This surprised Yi Su, but she also spoke with concern, saying, Why would you risk your life for me against someone else? You're the most valuable young master in Jiangcheng. And Wu Dao turned his head and replied, Oh, the reason's simple. A beauty like you being harmed would be such a waste. I just appreciate the good things in life. At that moment, the followers of the Azure Dragon Group were about to rush in. One of them shouted, Die already, stop pretending to be all high and mighty here. The first person to speak said, I've been annoyed by you for a while. Why do you have both looks and money? You need to die for me. But then, a powerful voice came from behind, stopping everyone in their tracks, leaving the group stunned as they shouted, Ah! One person said, Han Liu Wang himself is here. Everyone quickly bowed and greeted him, showing respect for Han Liu Wang. An elderly man sat in a golden wheelchair with 2 followers standing behind him, their hands clasped behind their backs. On the live stream screen, someone commented, Oh my god, how did we bring attention to this big shot? My younger brother admires En Wu Dao. Please those on the upper floors, let's educate ourselves. The supreme leader of the Taoist Association, Han Liu Wang. The man with long hair and a calm expression was Wan Wu. The man with blonde hair and a proud look was Bai Hu. Han Liu Wang shouted, Zhuge, what are you doing? Han Liu Wang, along with Long Wu Zhang, appeared. Hong Yip, playing the role of Zhu Ke, happily said, Foster father, you came at just the right time. There's this bastard named En Wu Dao, so arrogant and full of himself. He seemed to have some serious background. I beg you, foster father, please help me out. This left En Wu Dao stunned, thinking to himself, Foster father, isn't this all messed up in terms of hierarchy? Long Wu Zhang shouted, This is nonsense. Hong Yip, worried, asked, What did I do wrong? Foster father, I'm carrying out a mission for the family, and you promised me you wouldn't get involved in this. The old man replied, Yes, I promised you I wouldn't get involved in this, but I never agreed to let you go after my granddaughter. This left Hong Yip completely stunned, blurting out, "Granddaughter." Then, everyone watched as En Wu Dao interacted with Long Wu Zhang, saying, "Grandpa, I miss you so much. I haven't seen you around lately. Why haven't you come to visit me?" The old man responded, "Oh heavens, my dear grandchild, I've been sick these past few days and had a hard time moving around. Otherwise, I would have come to see you every day." This left Hong Yip in shock, and she asked, "Grandpa, my good grandchild." Yang Fan said, "Han Liu Wang, Long Wu Zhang, are they really En Wu Dao's grandfathers? That's a support system as strong as the sky." Ji Wu Ji calmly replied, "Ha! If you knew who his paternal grandfather and great-grandfather were, you realize he has even bigger support than that." Yang Fan, hearing this, stared in disbelief, his eyes full of fear. What? Then Hong Yip knelt down and said, "Adopted father, this is a misunderstanding. I had no idea he was your grandson. Please forgive me." Long Wu Zhang responded, "A nation has its laws and a family has its rules. Even though you're the eldest daughter of the Yi family in Longcheng, you've already joined my sect. How could I allow you to harm my grandson?" He tossed a dagger aside and added, "You know the rules, don't you? No need for me to remind you." Hong Yip picked up a short sword, trembling as she said, "I know the 3 blades, 6 strikes, and the expulsion of the Elder Council." Just as she was about to strike, shouting, "Chuzuke, accept your punishment," En Wu Dao stopped the blade with his bare hand. Blood began to pour. He turned around and said, "Grandpa, you misunderstood." Hong Yip panicked, yelled, "You? Are you crazy?" En Wu Dao smiled and said, "Grandpa, Hong Yip is just playing around with me. You're making a bigger deal out of this than necessary." Long Wu Zhang was startled and worried. "Wu Dao, you're hurt. Let Grandpa take a look." And Wu Dao replied, "It's just a small wound. It's nothing to worry about." The old man asked again, "Are you saying you were just playing around? Do you think I'm easily fooled? That girl is trying to push you to your death." The old man looked at the wound on En Wu Dao's hand, which was bleeding heavily, and thought to himself, "This kid's pretty tough. He's bleeding a lot and doesn't even complain. He must have the same blood as the men in the En family." And Wu Dao winked at Hong Yip. "We're really just playing around. We even kissed earlier, and now you think she's trying to kill me? Right, Hong Yip?" This made Hong Yip blush bright red. Embarrassed, she said, "Ah, just let them think that." The old man gave a half-skeptical, half-believing look. "A kiss, huh? I don't believe it. Kiss again so I can see." This made En Wu Dao relax, but Hong Yip became more nervous. And Wu Dao lifted Hong Yip's chin and said, "Sister Hong, you don't want to end up with 3 knives and 6 stabs, do you?" Without hesitation, the two kissed in the middle of the crowd. Ji Wu Ji, wearing a green hat, happily nudged Yang Fan's shoulder. "Look, look!" They kissed. "Man, you're about to become a big green giant." Yang Fan, disappointed, muttered, "Move aside, move aside. Don't touch me." When they both let go of each other, Hong Yip's favorability reached 79, causing a stir. And Wu Dao thought to himself, the favorability has been building up for a while now, so why hasn't the task appeared yet? Immediately after, a new task notification popped up. Flirt with Heaven's proud son, female Hong Yip, Zhu Hong Yip. When the favorability reaches 98, the task will be complete. The reward is 5 Heaven's chosen points and mastery of 18 types of weapons. And Wu Dao thought, 5 Heaven's chosen points? What kind of potential does this woman have hidden inside her? This seems a bit beyond the norm. Also, Hong Yip's real name is Ye Hong, the same surname as Yi Xu, and there's only one major family in Longcheng with the Yi surname. It's very likely they come from the same family, but why they're killing each other, I'm not sure. As expected of Longcheng, even the Heaven's chosen points here are pretty impressive. Long Wu Zhang closed his eyes and let it go, saying it's a good thing when known people grow close. If that's the case, I won't press the issue from earlier. Zoop. As for the matter between you and the Jai family, Hong Yip said sadly, "Adopted father, I understand." But then Wu Dao grabbed Hong Yip's shoulders and said, "Don't be upset. Leave the matter between you and Yi Xu to me. I'll make sure it's handled in a way that satisfies both of you." Immediately, Hong Yip slapped and Wu Dao's hand off her shoulder and said, "Ha, if you weren't my adopted father, I'd chop you up and feed you to the dogs." Wu Dao looked at Hong Yip and said, "You know, kind of like you." Yi Xu spoke up, "We're safe for now, but did you encounter something like this in your past life?" Ji Wu Ji replied, "I've never heard of anything like this. What I've heard about the An family in my previous life is very different from what's happening now." At this point, En Wu Dao had already been killed by Xiao Shen a long time ago. The Dragon King had also started a full-scale war with the En family. A few days later, En Wu Dao's mother, Long Xiaolan, was ambushed and killed while inspecting overseas. When Long Wu Zhang sought revenge for his daughter and granddaughter, He was caught in a trap and ended up taking his own life to avoid implicating the En family. But Xiao Shen didn't let the Long family off the hook. He used Long Wuzhang's past mistakes to stir up trouble, and the En family suffered greatly. Not long after, En Wu Dao's father fell seriously ill and suddenly passed away. Various branches of the En family were either investigated or killed. The En family, once so powerful, collapsed within 6 months. Meanwhile, Xiao Shen gained fame, and the title of Dragon King spread across all of Huaxia. Back to the present, Yixu asked, "What about Hong Yip? Isn't she affected at all?" Ji Wuji replied, "No, not at all. In fact, after Long Wuzhang died, she took over the Azure Dragon Corporation. With her help, Yang Fan quickly bounced back and became the new rising star of Jiangcheng. She also relied on Yang Fan to build Azure Dragon into a powerful corporation." Ji Wuji scratched his head and said, "I didn't expect Azure Dragon to recover so quickly, and now the Jai family is facing a total collapse." Yixu said, "So, you think Hong Yip must have sold out Long Wuzhang?" Ji Wuji nodded, "Exactly. I just haven't figured out everything yet. Do you think we should tell En Wu Dao?" Yixu responded firmly, "We should tell him, because now we're all in the same boat." At the En family's house, En Wu Dao said, "So you're saying my family's been ruined by Xiao Shen, and now Hong Yip could very well be the one helping him?" Yixu stood in front of En Wu Dao and said, "Yes, and in the next few days something will happen to your mother. You better warn her not to go abroad." And Wu Dao asked seriously, "How do you know this?" Yixu said bluntly, "I know how to predict the future. I use the 6 lines, the 4 pillars, and the bagua to calculate it." And Wu Dao stood up and said, "Oh, if both of you are truly willing to cooperate, then tell me, out of the 2 of you, who's the one who has been reincarnated? Otherwise, I'm not interested in listening to your nonsense." Yixu was surprised and asked, "You? How do you know?" And Wu Dao asked seriously, "It can't be you, Yixu? You've always been incredibly smart. If you were the one reincarnated, things wouldn't have gone so badly for the Jai family." And Wu Dao was sure and said, "It's you, right, Ji Wuji." Ji Wuji, looking tired, also spoke frankly, "Yes, I was reincarnated from 10 years in the future. He told me that in October of this year, after your grandfather's suicide, the Azure Dragon Corporation was taken over by Hong Yip. Then, on the night of Chinese New Year's Eve, Hong Yip slaughtered the Jai family. Yixu was killed on the spot by her. My older brother, Jai Feng Ming, and I luckily escaped, but we went through endless struggles, tasting the cold indifference of the world. Later, my younger brother had some success, and 10 years later, he returned to Jiangcheng to fight Yang Fan. By then, he was the man behind the Azure Dragon Corporation. The Jai family finally started to recover, but because those 10 years were so hard, I was already exhausted, with illness all over my body. Afterward, when I was being treated, Yang Fan used underhanded tricks, and I suffered in bed for 7 days before I passed away. When I woke up, I was back 10 years ago, exactly in this moment." Jane Wuji said sadly, "I know it sounds like I'm rambling. You probably won't believe me, but those 10 years felt like a nightmare. There were times when I couldn't even tell what was real and what wasn't." A message popped up on the toolbar, Heaven's Chosen Ji Wuji. Title, Great Young Master, Rebirth, Golden Finger, Prophecy Technique. Mission, capture or kill Ji Wuji. Reward, 5 points of Heaven's Chosen Prosecution. Allows you to see the past of others. And Wu Dao thought, the reward has been reduced so much. Could it be that the prophecy technique is too powerful? A pale, slender hand rested on En Wu Dao's shoulder. Su Gai appeared behind him and said, "This isn't because my abilities are lacking, but because your rank is too low. If you were a count right now, you'd complete the mission and get the prophecy technique." En Wu Dao seriously thought to himself, it seemed like he needed to speed up and earn more points. Su Gai said, "Compared to the Golden Finger, I'm more interested in his Heaven's Chosen points." Ji Wuji was clearly just a regular Heaven's Chosen. His storyline was pretty straightforward. He was reincarnated for revenge and to change the past. He was worth maybe 2 Heaven's Chosen points at most, but for some reason, the system gave him 5 points. Maybe he had some hidden story arc, or maybe a great emperor was protecting him. And Wu Dao reassured Su Gai, "Miss Su, don't worry too much. Once I finish my mission, you'll know the answer." But immediately, En Wu Dao was met with rejection. Su Gai said, "Ha! Stop touching." But Yang Fan was a charming and carefree man, surrounded by beautiful women everywhere. His harem was like a sea of stunning women, all of them deeply admired by others. A scene appeared of Yang Fan sitting among these gorgeous women, dressed in short skirts, black skirts, red skirts, and there was even one girl lying in a pile of gold. And Wu Dao, feeling disgusted, said, "What about So King Ya? How many women is he with now?" Ji Wuji explained, "At your funeral, So King Ya committed suicide alongside you. She didn't live to see Yang Fan rise again." This made En Wu Dao's face darken, and he exclaimed in surprise, "What? King Ye actually?" Just then, So King Ye entered and asked, "Wu Dao, earlier, Mom Wu called and asked what you wanted for dinner tonight. I told her to make the chicken feet and duck head you like the most. Is there anything else you'd like?" But right away, En Wu Dao flew over to So King Ya, surprising her. He held her tightly in his arms without saying anything, leaving So King Yan puzzled. "What's wrong?" After a long moment, En Wu Dao could only say, "King Ya, I will always treat you well." This made So King Ye happy, and she replied, "Ah, why are you suddenly like this? You're making me embarrassed." After letting go of So King Ya, En Wu Dao said, "King Ya, in this life, I could wrong anyone, but I can never wrong you. Whatever you want, I will give you. If you want the stars in the sky, I'll gather every meteorite on Earth for you." So King Ye happily replied, "I just want to be with you forever." Then they kissed again, ignoring the two people in the distance who didn't know what to say, their eyes turning away. The sound of Ji Wuji's voice broke the awkward silence. "And Wu Dao is really too much," he complained, knowing full well that there were two single people nearby, yet still acting so affectionate. Yi Xu calmly responded, "I don't see it that way. He's just expressing his true feelings." Ji Wuji reached out, about to touch Yi Xu's hand, and said, "Yi Xu, in my past life, I didn't protect you well. In this life, I will definitely." But Yi Xu pushed his hand away and said casually, "Cousin, our dangers in this life aren't over yet." Ji Wuji awkwardly agreed, right, we need to handle the immediate dangers first. Feeling jealous, Ji Wuji thought to himself, ever since Yi Xu started interacting with En Wu Dao, she's been distant with me. Could it be that I'm going to lose her in some other way? What's the point of being reborn, if this is how it turns out? Suddenly, En Wu Dao spoke up, "I can help you deal with Hong Yip." The two of them were surprised, and En Wu Dao, feeling upbeat, said, "But I want the Jai family to submit to me." In his heart, Su King Ye was still happily resting her head on En Wu Dao's chest. En Wu Dao said, "Ji Wuji, you must kneel before me and swear your loyalty." But Ji Wuji refused. He said, "Based on what? Both of us are heirs of the four major families. We're equals. Even if we cooperate, we just call each other brothers. What makes you think I should bow my head to you?" And Wu Dao clapped his hands and said, "If you can't see reality clearly, then let me help you." Right after that, Ba Yumsi and Jiang Renji showed up. When Ba Yumsi saw En Wu Dao holding So King Ya, she asked, "Did I come at a bad time?" But En Wu Dao shamelessly wrapped his arm around Ba Yumsi's waist and said, "No, you came at the perfect time." Jiang Renji grabbed En Wu Dao's leg and shouted, "Boss." On one side, En Wu Dao was holding two beautiful women in his arms with someone from the Jiang family at his feet. He said the Jiang family and the Bai family have already submitted to me. If the Jai family doesn't listen, I'll give the order and the three major families will aim their guns at you. Bai Yumsi teased, "By then, you won't need Hong Yip to make a move. You'll be finished by then." And Wu Dao replied, "Don't think of this as a threat. It's just the way things are. Once the three major families are united, even if I want to spare the Jai family, do you think anyone else will agree?" This made Ji Wuji and Yi Xu look grim. Jiang Renji, holding his leg, said, "The Jiang family doesn't agree with this." Bai Yumsi also spoke up, saying, "How can anyone sleep peacefully under the same roof if there's someone else in bed?" After seeing this situation, Ji Wuji knelt down and said, "I, Ji Wuji, swear to serve En Wu Dao with my life, never to betray him, but my loyalty level shows 20 with doubts." This surprised Yi Xu, leaving her speechless. A message appeared on the toolbar. "Heaven's proud son, the young master reborn, has sworn allegiance to the Marquis of Death. Skilled prosecution awarded. Due to insufficient loyalty from followers, no Heaven's chosen points can be earned." And Wu Dao thought, "Can I see others' pasts? This prosecution is a bit questionable." He walked over and patted Ji Wuji on the shoulder, saying, "Don't worry. If you're loyal to me, then the matters of the Jai family are mine to handle." He then turned to Yi Xu and said, "Ji Wuji's cousin is my cousin. Yi Xu, Hong Yip's martial arts are too strong. Staying with the Jai family puts you in danger, and it will bring trouble to the Jai family as well. Come stay with me." A romantic scene unfolded as En Wu Dao said, "I can see your skills today. Only you can protect me. And with your strategic mind, if you're by my side as an advisor, you'll definitely make me even stronger." Ji Wuji thought bitterly, Yi Xu grew up in the Jai family. We were childhood friends. How could she be with him? But reality slapped me in the face again. Yi Xu simply replied, "Okay," making him think, Is it really that easy? En Wu Dao casually threw his arm around Ji Wuji's shoulders and said, I'll handle things with Hong Yip, and the Jai family will protect you. From now on, all you need to do is tell me what's going to happen in the future, and you can be my fortune teller. Ji Wuji, feeling defeated, asked, Can I choose not to? En Wu Dao replied, No. Then En Wu Dao pulled out a pen and said, Hey, my fortune teller, tell me the lottery numbers for the next draw so I can win the grand prize. This made Ji Wuji so frustrated that he jumped up and said, How am I supposed to remember that? The two were standing in front of a giant TV screen. Ji Wuji said, Aren't you the one who loves horse racing? Do you remember the horse? It's the black one. En Wu Dao replied, Don't talk about it anymore. Ji Wuji, sounding disappointed, said, The second day I traveled back in time, I placed a bet on a horse. The result, they put poison in the horse I bought and it died right on the racetrack. Hearing this, the three hairs behind him also lost their enthusiasm and thought, Man, that's really unlucky. Bai Yumsi said, Any betting project can be interfered with, especially when you bet big. Even if you have prophecy skills, it's likely you'll still lose. So instead of betting, why not focus on predicting future economic trends? That way we could set up investments ahead of time. Ji Wuji thought about it. It seemed that En Wu Dao hadn't shared his reincarnation with them, which saved them from unnecessary trouble. Ji Wuji spoke up, In the future, industries like medical equipment, electronics, and new energy sources are going to grow the most. However, the medical equipment market is already dominated by big capitalists, and in electronics, leading companies have a tight grip. I'm more interested in the automotive industry and new energy batteries, En Wu Dao said seriously. Let's stay focused. Ji Wuji dropped a key phrase, lithium mining. En Wu Dao, with a sigh, thought about it. He hadn't won Jiang Ru Shu over yet, and without any business talent, just thinking about it gave him a headache. Outside, he sighed again and thought for a moment. Then suddenly his main character aura kicked in. He said, You guys handle lithium mining in the country. I'll figure out how to get it from abroad. For the specific investment plan, discuss it with Jiang Ru Shu later. As for me, I just need 50%. The rest is yours to split. Jiang Wuji yelled, 50%? Why don't you just go rob someone instead? En Wu Dao grinned slyly and replied, Isn't that what I'm doing? Then he added, I'm done talking. Who's with me and who's against me? Bai Yumsi and Jiang Renji both raised their hands. I'm with you, they said, showing complete loyalty without any hesitation. Ji Wuji thought to himself, That bastard, he's really pushing it. And Wu Dao thought, Oh, you're not happy? Fine, then I won't try to win you over. Let's just settle this now. But right then, Yixu spoke up, and Wu Dao, we're with you too. There's just been so much happening today, and my cousin is having a hard time processing everything. He's a little upset, so please forgive him. In his mind, En Wu Dao chuckled. Ha ha, a smart woman? Well, why hasn't she warmed up to me yet? The sister really doesn't like her. Then En Wu Dao turned to Yixu, and in front of Ji Wuji said, Yixu, I'll have King Yup pick out a good room for you later, one closer to me. It'll be more convenient for keeping an eye on you. This made Ji Wuji nervous. Yixu smiled and said, Thank you, En Wu Dao. En Wu Dao left with the beautiful women, leaving Ji Wuji standing there fuming. Jiang Renji slapped Ji Wuji on the back and said, Come on, man, take it easy. It's just a pretty woman, and she's not even worth half the trouble of your whole family, right? Just relax. Ji Wuji didn't know what to say and just sighed. En Wu Dao thought to himself, If I provoke him like this and he can still hold back, fine, I'll let it go. As for the Jai family's issues, I'll take care of it. Yixu looked at Ji Wuji with disappointment and thought, Cousin, you're still not as sharp as En Wu Dao. En Wu Dao isn't genuinely trying to help us. He's only doing it because of a past promise. That's why he's deliberately provoking you. He wants you to give up on the collaboration. That way, he can just sit back and watch us fight it out, and in the end, he'll benefit from it. The reason I'm being nice to En Wu Dao is just to keep him calm for now. We can't turn on him yet. We still need his protection. Yixu felt really down, thinking to herself, Cousin, I don't want to leave the Jai family, but I have no choice. Only if I leave will Hong Yip stop targeting the Jai family. If I stay, history will repeat itself, and the Jai family will suffer again. Cousin, take care of yourself. Just as they were about to leave, a kid with a slingshot took aim at En Wu Dao and shot a small rock that hit him right on the head, causing him so much pain he almost cried out. A large bump appeared on his forehead. The boy ran off immediately, but En Wu Dao shouted, Get that kid over here. Lin Feng quickly used his martial arts to catch the boy. After Lin Feng grabbed the corner of his shirt, he brought him in front of En Wu Dao. The kid with purple hair yelled, Let me go, let me go. Lin Feng said, Kid, you're trying to attack my boss in front of me. Do you think you can disrespect me like that? This was the second young master of the Jai family, Jai Fengming. En Wu Dao angrily grabbed Jai Fengming by the head and said, "Why are you acting out like this? Who told you to use a crossbow to attack someone?" Jai Fengming cried and accused, "You're bullying my brother, and I want to steal Sister Su Yi from you. I have to fight you." And Wu Dao shook Jai Fengming's head and said, "Kid, if you want revenge, you need to become strong enough. Even if I gave you a chance now, you wouldn't be capable of doing anything." He Xu stepped in to stop them. En Wu Dao, he's just a kid. But En Wu Dao angrily replied, "A mischievous kid." Suddenly, Su Gai appeared and shouted, "Kill him." This startled En Wu Dao. He thought, "Oh, he's a high-level Heaven's Chosen. How many Heaven's Chosen points does he have?" Su Gai, trembling, said, "I didn't see it." But when he appeared and stood there, the system kept showing the number 001. So Guy added, "I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling. I can't shake this uneasy feeling." And Wu Dao thought, "Is the system malfunctioning because my level isn't high enough?" Su Gai confirmed, "Yes, the system strengthens with your level. Only after it upgrades will it be able to identify higher level Heaven's Chosen." Later, when they were badly injured, they also managed to steal a Heaven's Chosen points and abilities from them. As you can see, Heaven's Chosen also has different levels. And Wu Dao wonders if she suspects this kid is a high-level Heaven's Chosen. His brother did say that 10 years from now, he will become a powerful expert. Sun Gag cruelly says, "Even though the system is no longer working, I can still see the royal aura around him. Kill him, kill him." But beside them, Yixu kneels and begs Master En Wu Dao, "Please, I beg you, spare him. He hasn't grown up yet." Feng Ming shouts, "Sister Su Yi doesn't need to beg him. You won't be able to kill me today. Just wait until I grow stronger. I'll definitely kill him." And Mu Gao thinks, "This kid is clearly a high-level Heaven's Chosen, just not fully developed yet. If I'm not mistaken, that useless Ji Wuji gained those 5 points of Heaven's Chosen because of him. And Yixu's inability to open her charm might also be connected to him." And Wu Dao thinks again, "This kid is definitely a disaster waiting to happen. But if I look at him from behind, what I see is..." Here's the translation. This is a fat goat. Its fur is so thick, I could probably weave it into a title. And Wu Dao imagined a fat goat with purple hair, white fur, and a lot of money. And Wu Dao helped Yixu up and said, "Look at you. You're so scared. I was just joking with it. I'm grown up. Do you really think I'd argue with a kid? People may not speak highly of me, but I still have some kindness." This surprised Jai Fengming and Yixu. Yixu thought to herself, "Looks like I misunderstood him before. He's not as bad as people say." Then, and Wu Dao turned to leave and said, "Let's go." Su Gai asked, "Why didn't you take action?" And Wu Dao replied, "This is a law-abiding society. Don't make me commit a crime. I'm a good citizen who follows the law." Su Gai didn't buy it and asked, "You follow the law?" "Oh," and Wu Dao said, "Fine, I have my own plan. But don't worry, even if he's a dragon, I'll make sure he has no chance to get into the sea." But Su Gai kept hovering in the air, tapping his head. "You don't have to kill him, but you must promise me that you'll upgrade the system soon. Otherwise, even if it means risking detection by the Heavenly Dao, I'll have to step in personally." And Mu Dao thought for a moment and then said, "In 7 days, I'll definitely promote to Count." Su Gai said, "Promise?" Cut to the highway. And Mu Dao asked, "It's been a while since we left the Jai family. Has the system recovered?" Su Gai replied, "It's recovered." And Mu Dao said, "Adjust the attribute interface and let me see how many more Heaven's Chosen points are missing." The character system interface showed God tier Demon Marka's level, Heaven's Chosen points 8 out of 13, Master En Wu Dao, Family Destruction talent, Guardian Detection talent, Reputation 3.2 million, Skills, 9 Dragons True Chi, 36 Petals of the Blood Lotus, Throwing Dagger, Full Attribute Warrior King, Ascended Dragon Fist, the Violet Golden Eyed One, Heaven's Proud Son, and Store unlocked. Su Gai said, 5 points left. What if we deal with Ji Wu Ji? That should cover it." And Wu Gao stopped him. "That would be like drinking poison to quench your thirst. Let's not even talk about how much Jai Feng Ming's royal fees will be triggered. You won't be able to get Yixu's Heaven's Chosen points either. Don't think that her attitude toward me is good. It's all just for show. She grew up with Ji Wu Ji, and they have deep feelings for each other. It was already hard enough to rely on her. Don't make things harder for me. I'm actually hoping Yixu gains more points." Su Gai angrily said, "You can't kill this person. You can't kill that person. So what exactly are you planning to do?" At that moment, En Wu Dao pointed to the toolbar and said, "Aren't these 5 points better? You could raid Heaven's Proud Son, Hong Yip." When the opponent's favorability reached 98, the mission was completed. The reward for the mission, 5 points of Heaven's Chosen, mastery of 18 weapons, and a favorability of 79. Suga thought for a moment and then said, "You've only met Hong Yip once, and you already plan to win her over in 7 days. Isn't that just wishful thinking? Why don't you go after Jiang Ru Chu and Bai Yangxi? Together, they have 6 points." And Wu Dao replied, "6 points? Are you sure? Jiang Ru Chu only has 1 point, and Bai Yangxi only has 2. Su Gai opened the toolbar and said, "Hey, just take a look for yourself. Mission 1, raid Heaven's proud son, Jiang Ru Chu. When the favorability reached 99, the mission was completed. Reward, 4 points of Heaven's chosen business talent and a favorability of 68. Mission 2, raid Heaven's proud son, Bai Yangxi. When the favorability reached 98, the mission was completed. Reward, 2 points of Heaven's chosen discovery talent and a current favorability of 90. The talent has been obtained." En Wu Dao said, "It's common for people's favor to change because human hearts are unpredictable, especially women's. But why has Jiang Ru Xu's Heaven's chosen score suddenly gone up? Her husband is in prison because of me. Why is it rising out of nowhere? Unless..." Suddenly, En Wu Dao realized something and spoke up. Ji Wuji said, "When my mother was inspecting work abroad, Xiao Shen tried to assassinate her. If you calculate the timing, that's tomorrow." Immediately, En Wu Dao's face filled with fear as he thought, could it be that Xiao Shen is out of prison already? He then ordered Lin Feng change direction and head back home. Lin Feng spun the car around 360 degrees and shouted. The car sped down the road toward the mansion. As they neared home, En Wu Dao anxiously wiped the sweat off his brow, thinking we might still make it in time. When they arrived, the servants greeted him. "Good evening, young master." Su Ga, who had been following En Wu Dao closely, said, "So, you decided to listen to me now. Are you planning to flirt with Bai Yangxi and Jiang Ru Xu?" But En Wu Dao replied, "No, it has to be Hong Yip." Su Gai angrily retorted, "Why? Am I not good enough for you? Why are you always going against me?" En Wu Dao put his arm around Su Gai's waist and said, "Of course I know what's good about you. I'm not trying to oppose you." Su Gai snapped, "Speak properly, and don't lay your hands on me." But from the outside, it looked like En Wu Dao was talking to herself, with her hand resting on her waist as she laughed and said, "All right, then let me tell you the reason. Jiang Ru Xu had a naturally proud and stubborn nature, making her difficult to tame. She had always hated me deeply, but now, after a lot of effort, she was starting to change. If I pushed too hard, though, it would only make things worse. When dealing with her, patience is key. Rushing won't help. As for Bai Yangxi, she was a mix of warm and cold, always calm and rational. Her connection with me was based on 2 things, gratitude and alliance. Although she seemed to like me 90%, any further bond between us would depend on chance. After all, we had already broken through that barrier between us, and there wasn't much more to be done. When it came to the young man's romantic gestures toward her, they were useless. She cared much more about practical benefits." And Mu Dao added, "Honestly, if I hadn't seen blood that day, I would have kicked her out long ago." Su Gai responded, "Even though I'm a woman, I must admit you understand women better than I ever could." In her heart, Su Gai couldn't help but smile and think, as expected, my master knows best. A woman then walked over and said, "So, my child finally remembers his old mother at home, huh?" Long Xiao Lan appeared, and En Wu Dao stood in front of her, happily saying, "Mom, you never age. You'll always be young and beautiful, forever 18. His mother smiled, then hugged En Wu Dao and said, "My son always speaks so well. I love listening to you." But En Wu Dao, feeling a bit shy, replied, "Mom, don't say that. I'm grown up now." En Wu Dao looked at his mother and thought, "Mom, in my past life, I caused you harm when Xiao Shen hurt you. In this life, I will make sure that tragedy never happens again. I'll eliminate Xiao Shen and destroy the curse that has plagued the En family." Suddenly, his father, Wu Dao, appeared and said, "Ha, she spoiled you. You're getting worse and worse." This startled En Wu Dao, making him feel scared. En Wu Dao, his father, Dao Hai, the governor, called out, "Come to my study. I need to talk to you." And Yi then walked inside, leaving the 2 women outside. En Wu Dao, feeling frightened, looked up at his mother with tear-filled eyes and whispered, "Mom, I'm scared." Long Xiao Lan, equally upset, snapped, "What's there to be angry about? If he dares to scold you, he'll have to deal with me." She then turned to comfort En Wu Dao, saying, "Don't be afraid. If your father dares to hit you, just call out for me. I'll go beat him up myself." And Wu Dao felt a little better and softly said, "Thank you, Mom." The scene shifts to the study. En Yi sits at the calligraphy desk and says, "Sit down, let's talk." After En Wu Dao sits down, he asks, "What rumors have you heard lately? Are you planning to criticize or warn me again?" In his mind, he thinks, I don't know why, but in front of my father, I always feel the need to act rebellious, almost like it's become a habit. Maybe it's just the rebellious streak in my bones. Seeing En Wu Dao sitting with his legs crossed in a lazy manner, An Yi snaps, "Sit properly." Startled, En Wu Dao quickly straightens up. He thinks to himself, "Oh, the family bloodline keeps me in check." En Yi pulls out a newspaper with a bold headline. Surprising. Young Master En Wu Dao and Bai Yemsi, CEO of the Bai family, publicly declare their love. He says, "Aren't you going to explain?" En Wu Dao reads it aloud and says, "Dad, you like reading gossip too." But then he looks displeased and says, "Be serious." En Wu Dao replies seriously, "Yemsi and I are indeed on the same page, but she knows that the business can't allow for interfamily marriages, so there's no need for me to take responsibility." And Yi frowns and says, "So, just because you don't have to take responsibility, you won't? Yemsi is not a little girl anymore. If this is ruined by a kid like you, how will I face the elders in the Bai family?" And Wu Dao says earnestly, "Dad, I hope you won't interfere with my private life. There are reasons I can't explain. It's related to the system. In the future, there may be no shortage of beautiful women around me. I really don't have a choice. If I don't, I'll end up in a very bad situation." This left En Yi completely confused, but when he heard this, he became extremely angry. He said, "What are you talking about? Are you saying you'll die without a woman? How can you say such shameless, immoral things?" Immediately afterward, he grabbed a newspaper and angrily hit En Wu Dao. While hitting him, he yelled, "You! Get out of here! I don't have a son like you! Get out now!" After En Wu Dao quickly ran out, An Yi, panting and feeling helpless, muttered, "What kind of karma have I created to have a useless son like this?" His face changed and he sighed. "The good name of the En family is ruined by this rebellious son. I'm ashamed in front of my ancestors." When En Wu Dao left the study and went downstairs, Long's mother asked, "Did he hit you?" En Wu Dao replied, "No, but it seems like he's really angry." Long's mother cheerfully said, "Let him be angry, who cares? As long as my son isn't getting beaten, that's all that matters." Then with excitement, she asked, "Quick, tell me if you decided who you want to marry." This made En Wu Dao nervous, and he asked, "Huh?" She looked over at the two young women and said, "This girl, King Ye, is very good. She's respectful and really cares for her mother. I like her a lot. The girl next to her seems to be from the Jai family. She's very beautiful, and your children together will surely be stunning." En Wu Dao was also taken aback by his mother's judgment, but Mrs. Long smiled and said, "Yemsi may be a bit older, but she can still have children. The most important thing is that she knows how to manage the household and handle her child's personality at the right time. I'm very satisfied. This girl, though we just met, seems quite well behaved." She then looked at Bai Yemsi and Sen Sioxio and said, "If you had to choose one, which one would you pick as my daughter-in-law? They're both good kids. It's such a tough decision." And Wu Dao, with a lecherous expression, responded, "I'll take all of them. I want everything." Mrs. Long laughed brightly and said, all right, that makes it easier for me then." But En Wu Dao, suddenly afraid, quickly changed his tone and said, "No, Ma, I was just joking." He then shoved his hands in his pockets and said, "Mom, let's talk about something serious. Tomorrow, aren't you going abroad for work?" Mrs. Long happily patted his hand and said, "Yes, you're getting older and starting to care about my work now." But En Wu Dao confidently replied, "Mom, I'll go in your place." The scene shifted with the sound of a trumpet blaring, followed by the heavy beat of drums. A banner overhead read, "Welcome." En Wu Dao and his manager walked down, and 2 rows of bodyguards stood at the bottom to greet him, saying, "Your mother's reputation is truly impressive. This welcome ceremony is quite grand." As soon as En Wu Dao and his manager got into the car, a man with blonde hair and a smug expression said, "Oh, walking right into your own trap." Without missing a beat, he pressed a red button, causing the car to explode in a fiery blast. When the car went up in flames, people around them screamed in panic. The blonde man, Yama, scoffed and said, "Humph, someone like you thinks you can break the Dragon King's hands? I'm more than enough to take care of you." But just then, a figure appeared in front of him, grinning wickedly. It was En Wu Dao. Seeing him, Yama's eyes widened in shock, and he shouted, "Didn't you just get blown to bits?" And Wu Dao smirked and replied, "I didn't die in the explosion. How else could I have lured you out?" A message appeared on the toolbar. Successfully switch real person to puppet, costing 1 million fame points, remaining 2.2 million points. Behind him, Yixu stood with a look of approval, and Wu Dao couldn't help but praise her. Yixu is truly a brilliant strategist. She never misses a detail. Yixu humbly responded, "You're too kind." Standing nearby was Zhang Ru Shu, and Wu Dao then pointed at Yama and explained, "Ru Shu, this man is your husband's subordinate. He controls the bombs used to kill people. Every one of his underlings is a criminal." Zhang Ru Shu froze, then said, "He's my ex-husband." Yama's face turned pale, and he quickly tried to explain. Sister-in-law, let me explain. We were only targeting En Wu Dao. We didn't need to kill any innocent people. En Wu Dao was preparing to strike when he said, I have nothing but contempt for people like you who dare to act but won't take responsibility. Just now, wasn't the translator and the driver innocent when they got in the car? This caused Jiang Ruqiu and Yama to freeze in surprise. Just as Yama was about to make an excuse, En Wu Dao threw a short green dragon dagger toward him and shouted, shut up. But Yama quickly fought back, getting ready to split into multiple forms. With a confident smirk, he said, you think a single throwing knife can take my life? You're underestimating me. Someone in the crowd yelled, oh, he dodged it. Immediately after, Yama grabbed 2 pistols, one in each hand, and said, even if I don't kill you, you're still going to die now. Before he could fire, a bullet pierced through his head. Lin Feng, watching from the side, casually said, been abroad too long and got stupid. Don't you usually watch the undefeated war god and the twin eagles? As Yama collapsed to the ground, Lin Feng quickly fired a few more shots into him, adding, before you kill someone, you shouldn't talk too much, especially not strike a pose. A notification popped up on the tool panel. Successfully killed General Yama, Lord of the Long Kings, and obtained 1 Heaven's Chosen point. And Mu Dao thought he understood now. Xiao Shen was the Dragon King. The reason there was only 1 Heaven's Chosen point left was that the rest of his points were divided among the 3 major generals under him. The Heaven's Chosen score was tied to the divine mandate of these figures, which explained why King Ye had hidden points. After dealing with Yama, Lin Feng turned to ask, what should we do next? This is Xiao Shen's territory. Should we ask the government here to increase security? And Mu Dao replied, well, we might as well ask our strategist Yi. Yi Xu answered casually, honestly, it's better to follow what you've all suggested. On our way here, Xiao Shen probably still has 2 major generals, the Fortune God and the Tyrannical Ruler. With Tyrannical Ruler's influence in this country, he could definitely deploy security forces to protect us, but increasing security would only add more enemies. Lin Feng seriously put his gun away and said, all right then, I have a few old comrades here. We can take refuge with them for now. But Yi Xu responded coldly, no need. After losing Yama, they'll definitely be blinded by vengeance. It's better if we stay at the hotel they arranged for us. We can turn this situation to our advantage. The scene shifted to a luxurious, gold-plated hotel. En Wu Dao, Yi Xu, Jiang Ruqiu, and Lin Feng entered. 2 rows of guards stood perfectly straight, welcoming them. And Mu Dao thought to himself, this place wasn't originally a designated hotel. It was actually Xiao Shen's headquarters. It was clear that Xiao Shen's influence here was massive, able to make the government move the survey team's location to his territory. Yi Xu, looking worried, said, I didn't expect them to make this move. Our danger level is really high right now. But we've already entered the tiger's den, and now that we're in, there's no turning back. Let's just stick to the plan. As night fell, Jiang Ruqiu entered En Wu Dao's room and confronted him. You brought me here under the pretense of buying lithium ore, right? So why are Xiao Shen's people here? You clearly set me up to be in an impossible position. En Wu Dao stepped closer, grabbed Jiang Ruqiu's chin and said, of course we're here to buy lithium ore, but the grudge between us and Xiao Shen needs to end now. A -10 trust score appeared above her head. She replied, but I don't want to be him, and I definitely don't want to be your pawn. And Mu Dao glared at the camera as if deep in thought. He then moved closer to Jiang Ruqiu, preparing to kiss her. Another -10 trust points appeared, and immediately, and Mu Dao pinned both of Jiang Ruqiu's hands to the wall above her head. Woman, he said, looks like you still don't understand the situation. Jiang Ruqiu thought to herself, so he's finally making a move. Whatever, I shouldn't have expected anything from him. He's just a spoiled playboy after all. On top of her head, a positive aura appeared, showing a favorability rating of 78. Jiang Ruqiu's expression was a mix of frustration and tenderness. And Wu Dao said, this is just a small punishment. If it happens again, you won't be so lucky. Xiao Shen, who was watching for the camera, had a terrifying look on his face. He gritted his teeth and said, En Wu Dao, if you dare touch my woman, you're as good as dead. Immediately, he shouted to his subordinates, go bring them here. I'm going to kill En Wu Dao right in front of Ruqiu. His subordinates shouted in unison, yes, sir. Without hesitation, a foot kick opened the door. Xiao Shen's men stormed in, some carrying guns. En Wu Dao questioned, tyrannical ruler? The tyrannical ruler replied, En Wu Dao, didn't expect this, did you? En Wu Dao quickly shouted, someone, we're under attack. The tyrannical ruler arrogantly pointed a gun at En Wu Dao and said, don't bother calling for help. Your security team has already been replaced with my people. Then all of Xiao Shen's subordinates raised their guns, ready to turn En Wu Dao into a pincushion. He shouted, "Take them to meet the Dragon King." En Wu Dao, enraged, shouted back, "Dragon King Xiao Shen, isn't he supposed to be in prison? You bastards won't die peacefully." Walking down the hallway, the tyrannical ruler said, "En Wu Dao, I never thought you'd be stupid enough to walk right into your own trap." En Wu Dao calmly replied, "Who do you think you are to mock me?" Hearing this, the tyrannical ruler, furious, pointed a gun at En Wu Dao's head and said, "You're about to die, and you still dare to act tough." En Wu Dao turned and cunningly said, "This spot will do." This confused the tyrannical ruler. Immediately, a surge of blue energy shot into his stomach, causing him to cough up blood and collapse right there, along with the group of subordinates who had been trying to restrain En Wu Dao. As everyone fell to the ground, the tyrannical ruler, barely hanging on, weakly asked, "You were your hands tied?" En Wu Dao turned toward him with a sinister smile and replied, 3 days make all the difference. Did you really think I was still the same En Wu Dao you could easily crush?" At that moment, the green dragon dagger flew back to En Wu Dao's hand, and the restraints were undone. Lin Feng stood by, waiting for instructions. En Wu Dao said, "It's up to you." Tyrannical ruler thought, "Big brother, be careful, be careful." En Wu Dao. Then Lin Feng raised his gun and said to tyrannical ruler, "Sorry, I need to borrow something from you." A notification appeared on the toolbar. Killed tyrannical ruler, a general under the Dragon King, and earned 1 heaven's chosen point. The scene shifted. En Wu Dao, Jiang Ru Xu, and tyrannical ruler had been replaced and were now preparing to enter the Dragon King Xiao Shen's lair. Tyrannical ruler said, "No matter what happens inside, you guys stay out. I can handle the Dragon King." The subordinates around him all replied, "Yes, sir." As soon as the 3 of them entered, the door closed behind them. Tyrannical ruler said, "Dragon King, I brought them. This kid still can't take a single hit." Xiao Shen turned to smile and called out, "Ru Xu." Jiang Ru Xu replied, "Xiao Shen, En Wu Dao is now the head of the Jiang family. You can't kill him or it'll destroy the Jiang family." But Xiao Shen said, "It's just 10 billion. If you speak up, I can give you 10 billion. He then pointed directly at En Wu Dao and said, "Today, En Wu Dao must die." The replaced tyrannical ruler said, "Dragon King, let me carry out the execution of En Wu Dao." Xiao Shen agreed without hesitation. But just then, the god of wealth standing nearby suddenly realized something. As soon as tyrannical ruler fired a shot at Xiao Shen, he shouted, "Die." At the same time, the god of wealth flew out and took the bullet for him. Xiao Shen panicked and yelled, "Tyrannical ruler, what are you doing?" The god of wealth's face was serious as he said, "Big brother, run quickly. He's not tyrannical ruler." Xiao Shen screamed in fear, "God of wealth, my good brother." Then Lin Feng also removed his mask and said, "That's right, Luo is not tyrannical ruler. He's the warrior king Lin Feng." And Wu Dao, flying on his green dragon-shaped craft, said, "Stop talking and kill him." But immediately Xiao Shen dodged and said, "I didn't expect you knew martial arts. I must have misjudged you." Without wasting a moment, Xiao Shen leaped out of the window and escaped. And Wu Dao, serious, ordered, "Don't let him get away, kill him." As both of them chased after him, the god of wealth flew out to block their path. He shouted, "Big brother, go." But right away, he was shot twice. A notification appeared on the tool, successfully killed the god of wealth, the general of the Dragon King, and earned 1 heaven's chosen point. As he landed, Xiao Shen thought, "God of wealth, I will definitely avenge you." The subordinates below grabbed their guns and charged forward. "Dragon King!" Xiao Shen shouted. "Everyone in the Dragon King's hall, listen up! Use all your strength to kill En Wu Dao!" He screamed in rage.